What's up, Triathlon Trainiacs? Triathlon Taren here with your daily triathlon video where I help you become a better triathlete, get the most out of your training and racing, and then hopefully translate that onto being a awesomer person just in life. Triathlon's like a gateway drug. Let's do it. So today in part 2 of this series on how to figure out your ideal race nutrition strategy, we are going to dive into how you can figure out the number of calories that you need to be replacing in the 20 minutes before a race and the course of a race. Now, there are 3 primary ways that you can do this, and I'll talk about them in order of, we'll say, worst, most general option will kind of get you in the ballpark to bang on, here's how many calories you're going to burn, here's how many calories you need to replace. The first way that you can get close to the amount of calories that you need to replace throughout the course of a race is to basically guesstimate it. A lot of the companies that make things like gels, chews, bars, electrolyte fluid, they portion everything out in increments that make it easy for triathletes, runners, swimmers, cyclists, everyone to, on a regular schedule, replace the amount of calories that they're burning. And as a guideline, if you took a gel or a chew, basically one serving of about 80 to 110 calories 20 minutes before your race, then another serving of calories about 10 minutes into the bike, and then every half hour thereafter through to the end of the race, paired with a decent sip of electrolyte fluid every 5 minutes, you're gonna be kind of in the ballpark. The things that this doesn't account for, however, is it doesn't account for any fluctuations in weight if you're a larger athlete or a much smaller athlete. It doesn't account for fluctuations in the size of bars, chews, gels, things like that, the concentration of calories in the electrolyte fluid. If any of these are wildly off of averages, you're gonna be finding that it's not gonna be ideally suited for you. It's gonna get you close, but you're gonna be off by quite a bit because it hasn't been designed for you. It's kind of been designed for everyone on average. The second way to go about figuring out your caloric intake requirements is to go to any of the calculators online that you can type in calories burned while swimming, calories burned while cycling, calories burned while running. And typically you'll be able to put in your weight, the amount of time that you do it, and you'll get an indication of how many calories you're going to burn. Couple of downsides to this. As triathletes, we're going from one to the next to the next. So the cumulative load of all of them together isn't really accounted for when you're piecing them together one after the other. And because you are going for such a longer period of time, in my experience, you need a little bit more. In addition to that, most of these calculators really only tell you how many calories you're going to burn. It doesn't tell you flat out how many calories you need to replace. That number is right around 25% of the calories that you burn. However, because it's not given to you, it's not really apparent. I might tell you, hey, you need to replace 25% of the calories that you burn. 6 months from now, you may not remember that that's it, and you'll go to these calculators and they'll tell you how much you burn, and you don't know how many you need to replace. That's why I developed the third and what I think is the best option. I actually programmed a calculator that accumulates all of the total load going from the swim to the bike to the run, where you can input the race that you're doing, how long the race is going to take, what your weight is, and it's going to end up giving you a very close estimate that I've taken from some scientific research. Isn't all research scientific? I was just trying to make that sound fancy. But I read a bunch of literature on race nutrition strategy, and I ended up backing out and being able to create this spreadsheet that automatically you put in your specific information and boom, it tells you very accurately how many calories you're going to expel during the race and how many calories you need to replace during the race. And this is the entire basis for a starting point for figuring out how much calories you need to take and when you need to take them throughout the race. This is the starting point to it all, because until you know how many calories you specifically need to replace during the course of a race, you're just playing a guessing game. Having that number saying, you know what, over the course of the 2 hours and 50 minutes that I'm gonna spend in this Olympic race, I need to consume this many calories. And then you just have to figure out how to fit it in and where you want to take those calories from. So you can get access to that calculator by going to triathlontaren.com/triathlon nutrition guide. You put your email address in, and over the course of 4 days, you're going to be walked through the entire process of calculating how many calories you need to take in during a race, when you need to take them, what types of calories and fluids you need to be taking in the form of gels, chews, bars, electrolyte fluid, salt tabs, things like that. And you're gonna get information on how to customize that if there are specific circumstances you have with digestive issues or different race conditions. I think it's a phenomenal guide. I made it right over there on the couch. Thought it was really impressive. If you're new here and you aren't yet subscribed and you want to make sure that you don't miss part 3 of the race nutrition guide, hit that subscribe button below and the notification bell so that you know when the video comes out. You can also check out the entire series playlist for this race nutrition series down here. And if you just want to go on a binge watching spree and see some of the best of Triathlon Taren, you can check out our Kona recap video here, which I'm very fond of. Thanks, Trainiacs. I'll see you tomorrow.